and welcome to another installment of Chocolate Chat. I am Chocolate Yoddah, spelled Y-O-D-D-A-H, because film studios are litigious. And today's episode of Chocolate Chat is brought to you by Emotional Management Coaching. That's my business. When I'm not Chocolate Yoddah on Chocolate Chat, I am a keynote speaker, seminar leader, coach, and consultant named Francisco J. Acosta. So again, this episode is brought to you by Emotional Management Coaching. And what I want to talk to you about today is why your relationships have failed and maybe why they're still failing. You know that cycle where you meet someone, you think it's going to be great, and it's great for a little while, and then slowly it just kind of fades away. Or maybe it happens quickly. I don't know. But did you ever wonder, why? Why does this keep happening? You know, is it the same type of person that you're dating? Is it the same type of scenario that you find yourself in? Well, I want to start to sort of deconstruct the possible reasons why your relationships fail. For starters, I believe that there are three pillars in every relationship. You have to have social compatibility, sexual compatibility, and conflict resolution compatibility, right? So social compatibility, what is that? That one's kind of simple. It's just the idea that there has to be some overlap in the things that you like to do. You know, the type of people that you are, you know, like Chris Rock joked about, if she's into church and you're into crack, there might be a problem, right? And so it's that idea. So, do you like to do the same things, or, you know, do you enjoy the same kind of hobbies? And not all the way down the line. It doesn't have to be that you do everything the same, but is there overlap, right? So that's important, because that'll go a long way toward your compatibility as time goes on. Now, the other one is sexual compatibility. This one's actually easy. You either vibe with someone sexually or you don't, right? It's not really that hard to figure out. And some people kind of suffer silently through bad sex just because they don't want to be alone, right? I'm not one of those people. I don't advocate for that. If the sex is not fulfilling, move on. Even though it's not the most important thing in a relationship, it's a significant factor, and I just don't see the point of being in a relationship with someone on a romantic level if there's no sexual compatibility. So the last one is conflict resolution compatibility. This is a tricky one. This is one that usually takes the longest to discover, because usually in the beginnings of relationships, there are no conflicts. You know, in the beginning of a relationship, it's all strong chemical attraction. Like literally, your body gets infused with all sorts of bonding chemicals, and that happens for the first 6 months. That's why it's never a good idea to make any important decisions about your relationship in the first 6 months, because you're basically drugged and a little bit crazy. As a matter of fact, that's literal. Brain waves for love look almost identical to brain waves for insanity. So that phrase crazy in love comes from a real thing, right? So what does conflict resolution compatibility look like? Well, if there's an issue that has to be discussed, you're either both screamers, or you're both quiet, or you're both talkers, or anything like that. You have to be on the same page of how you handle conflict resolution, right? Because without that, the communication just never quite happens. And, you know, there's that ugly C word, right? Communication. We're told that all the time. The key to a good relationship is communication, right? And I think that that's true. However, has anyone ever explained to you what good communication looks like. I mean, is it a skill? I think it is. I'm a professional communicator, and I believe very strongly that communication is a skill. And if that's true, is everyone born just knowing how to communicate? Is everyone born with that skill? I don't think so, right? It's a skill that has to be learned, it has to be practiced, and it does take time to get good at. There are some basics, just empathetic listening and, being focused on the other person and not trying to be right all the time. But those are usually easier said than done. All right. So, social compatibility, sexual compatibility, conflict resolution compatibility. I want you to think about your past relationships or even your current relationship if it's not working, and kind of figure out, is there a theme? Is there some consistency to the point of failure in your relationship? And if there is, then that's something that you can work on. Some people just have never thought about this. They sort of are waving goodbye to a person before they ever met them, and they don't know why. All right, I stole that line from someone from like 30 years ago. But anyway, the key thing is figuring out how you seek someone out, and then once you're with that person, what happens in there? Where does the compatibility fail? And it's the old forewarned is forearmed. So once you figure that out, you can make some changes and hopefully get better outcomes. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for listening. Talk to you soon.